What's up? What's up? This is Joey, Vitaminutes. Happy Friday. Finished up a whole week of hitting it hard, and I'm tired. This pollen's out, and my face is itching. And I'm going to go home and take a shower and wash all this stuff off me. Here's my Vitaminute for today. I had a talk with my trainers, and they told me I was complaining about the fact that I was having a lot of muscle cramps, and a lot of muscle cramps in a lot of weird places. Like I just stretch over my head like this, and suddenly my entire, under my arm just cramping up. Just places where I was like, is there muscle under there? Anyway, so I knew something was wrong. I didn't know what was up. But after I talked to Thad, he told me, you know what? You are probably extremely dehydrated. And I thought, okay, I drink a lot of water though. He said, yeah, but you've done a lot of flying in the last month. That dehydrates you. You've also done a lot of exercise, a lot of swimming. Now, if you were watching my last video while I was on the bike, you saw me pouring sweat, just glistening. I mean, I'm looking down and there's like a puddle underneath me, so I can put away some water. But I don't replace that water when I need to as much as I should. And he said pretty much most of the general public is dehydrated, but it doesn't really get severe. You don't know it until you get thirsty. And that's when you realize you need water, but you actually were more dehydrated before you felt you were thirsty. Now, here's the thing. I swim a lot, so I'm immersed in water for at least an hour. Number one, I don't know how much I'm sweating because I'm in water. Number two, I'm surrounded by water. So the first thought is not, I need water. So I'll get up, and skin chapped or lotion, put on your lotion. But the first thing I think to do is not to go rehydrate, because in my mind, in my psyche, I was in the water the whole time. And all of that, plus the fact that I literally put out water. I sweat like crazy, means that I dehydrate quickly. And I have been dehydrated for so long that, as he explained it, your cells begin to shrivel up. And when you haven't had water for a long time, you're bloated. And even if I'm drinking a lot of straight water, it's almost like a drought, where the ground is so dry that when there's a sudden downpour, it really doesn't have time to settle into the ground, and it just washes out. He said that's the same thing that happens with your body when you've been dehydrated for a long time. So it just washes through your body and you urinate it out. So I wasn't even retaining water. So his thing was, you really need to get some electrolytes back into your body, a little bit of sodium, so that the cells can start to swell again and start to take in water, absorb water. So here's a lesson. A lot of times my spirit is cramping the same way. There are certain pains that I get in places I'm just like, okay, where did that come from? I slipped up, and do you hear what I said? I was like, man, I was thinking that. There are things that you experience in your spiritual life where I really need the water of life. Then I look up and I'm like, I've been exercising hard this week, but I did not spend a whole lot of time getting into my word this week or listening this week like I really needed to. So I'm spiritually dehydrated. Now, the crazy thing is, I go to church pretty much whenever I can. I'm surrounded by people who are familiar with the Spirit, but being immersed in it doesn't mean that it's getting into my body. It doesn't mean that I'm absorbing it inside. Just like I swim in this pool for an hour, but that doesn't keep me from being dehydrated. Just because I'm in it doesn't mean that it's in me. So I want you to remember that even though you know about the water of life and you hear about it and people are talking about him all around you, that doesn't mean that he's in you and you're absorbing him into your being, especially for all my spiritual leaders out there in whatever capacity you're leading. Get hydrated. Get hydrated in your physical body and get hydrated in your spirit. Don't just talk about it. Don't just teach the stuff. It's got to be in you. Let it soak into who you are so that you are not spiritually dehydrated. Have a great week.